Yep. Nah. Was that your ninja look?
All right there. Why you got a mask on?
What, I was thinking we should start a trend, like the bat soup challenge.
Yeah, get outside here. Where's your
Did you
fucking mask, Amy?
Are you trying to keep yourself safe from the coronavirus?
Where's your mask? You fucking thing. Put your fucking mask on.
Okay. Are we all good now?
Yeah, I think all right.
Okay.
I
So,
stocked up on bread.
I feel like there's a whole handful of things to cover today.
Oh. Right, I'm back.
How does it feel being in a sovereign nation?
Oh yeah. Well, nothing's really happened. It's just like in name at the moment, isn't it? So it's just a. It doesn't. I don't know if it really means that much. To be
I
honest
don't
with you.
I don't know, in some people's minds it's the end of the world.
Yeah, we won't be able to get any sandwiches according to the BBC. But the news coverage was really bad. Like they made it look like an eerie kind of New Year's Eve countdown. Then they cut all the cheering out. And then it looked like they saw this smoke off, and it looked like they were like gassing the crowd or something. It's fucking well weird how they filmed it.
I ended up catching it was some sort of interview on like Good Morning Britain, and they had some Remainer guy there, and he was just basically saying, "Oh, the economy, the sky is falling," like all of that nonsense. And the thing that really stood out to me though is because it's the same thing like when I was looking at my one ex's Facebook who's over in England. She was posting pictures of this Trump protest, and her like title on the photos was like, for anyone in America who's wondering what the people of Oxford think of Trump. And even this guy on Good Morning Britain was like, the rest of the world is gonna be laughing at us. What will the rest of the world think? And that was the same thing that we had heard over here about Trump. The rest of the world, they think we're, rubes and whatever now. And what is the world going to think? And it's like, all this concern about opinions of nobodies, like,
You're not allowed to say you like Trump still in this country. But just quickly though, when I was at work, I'm sat next to two millennials, and this guy's like a 6'4" guy. He's like struggling with the ladies and stuff. And he was like going, "Oh, I'm gonna be sad when we leave tomorrow. I'm gonna be sad." And I'm like trying to help him out, man. I'm trying to like man him up because I'm a bit older than him. And I was like, "Oh, well, like I'm like pretty hardcore Brexit, like have been for a while. So for you, like, what are your main reasons for like staying like 3 years on? How come you still want to stay?" And he went, "Well, I feel like the people that vote for Brexit, they were lied to by the bus, the big bus, with the message saying we're going to save all this money." I was like, all right, so you want to stay in the European Union because it's something they wrote on a bus? And he was like, well, okay. Um, I think it would be better if we're all just in it together, do you know what I mean? Just togetherness and just being together. So I was like, right, okay, so besides the bus, them writing something on a bus, which was propaganda, and you all want to sit around the fire and sing Kumbaya. Is there any other reason?
well, you know what that
What are the main reasons you want to stay? What makes you feel so passionate about this? And then I just asked him the basic gotcha questions. I was like, can you name one of the presidents? And he was like, well, I don't think it's important whether I can name one of the presidents or not. It's like, so you want me to vote for someone you can't even name, you don't know
yeah.
their history, you don't know their ideology. He's going, yes, I don't think you need to know. I think we should be together. And I was like, just the obvious, do you think government should be as small as possible, restrained as much as possible? And he was like, yes. It's like, well, why would you want the European Union?
Yeah.
Well, you haven't changed my mind. And then I was like, this is at work, so this is as hardcore as I can go. Paris has been on fire for like 15 months now. And it was like, what do you mean it's been on fire for 15 months? I was like, just Google it. And then Sweden has had 300 firebomb attacks last year.
Well,
Rape is up 2,000%. Spain wanted out, can't get out. Italy voted out, can't get out. Greece has got a refugee crisis. Germany's gone like, you want to stay together on the Titanic? I
yeah.
mean, what are you on about?
All right, so there are two things I
But
want to bring up that this all ties into perfectly.
it's just there's nothing dead. It's going, well, this is a relatively new thing. I mean, I don't know it too well. It's like it's been going on, well, it's been 3 years, and then before then it's been going on for 20 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Did you see the Don Lemon clip where he's talking about Trump supporters and there's the two guys and they're all just cracking up and they're like, "Oh, Trump wouldn't know where the Ukraine is on a map if there was a U and a picture of a crane." And then they were like, "Oh yeah, well his supporters, they're all like, you and all your books and your maps and geography like." So that clip was doing the rounds. And then I saw Dave Rubin talking to Michael Malice, who summed up that whole segment perfectly, where he says, if this was 60 years ago, that would be white people saying the exact same thing with the N-word thrown in. Like the way these elite leftists talk about anyone, right of Bernie basically, is that they're illiterate, uneducated, and everything like that. Like this guy you're talking about, he doesn't know shit about shit, but he just knows I have the politics of the smart
Yeah,
people
but
and
he's just
everyone
come out
else
of
is
uni. He's
stupid.
paid a lot of money for a university education. It's a 6'4" guy, which, I'm tiny, like, you should be able to dominate me. And then he was like going, oh, I feel like you're being harsh to me, you're being harsh. I'm like, dude, you're a friend of mine. I just want to know what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to trigger things into you. Like, they are gotcha questions, but I'm hoping it'll trigger something in you. That your argument is terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, the other
You, a
thing,
bus, uh,
as you were
I'm one
saying
of these guys.
about all the other European countries, it's funny. I was at work this week and someone came in and they were talking about how Europe is ahead of us and they're on the right track and they've got their heads on straight. And I said, "Oh, why is that?" And he's like, "Well, shorter work weeks. They work less. They know how to relax." And I'm like, how is doing nothing what we should be striving to? Like, what has any of these countries given the world in the past 100 years? Like, I told him, I said, I had a friend of mine who had French music producers come over here to work with us, and they were blown away that we in a sitting could get like 4 to 5 songs done. And they were like, this would take us all week. And it's like, yeah, because our work ethic, it just blows my mind that it's like you think being unproductive is a goal. Like I don't get it. But that's what people seem to think Europe is on the right track and they have no clue that it's burning and rape gangs and like just the whole mess in all those countries.
Well, I had to do my induction in the bank. And don't get me wrong, guys, I love working for the bank. Like, actually working there is great. But they do their induction, which is all about the mind control, the behavior control and all that. And it was actually a good laugh. But they play a video, and it's like the beginnings of HSBC Bank. And it shows you about how they're in China and how they, after the war, they changed out the currency and they honoured the Chinese currency and swapped the paper. And then, as soon as it did that, it talked about HSBC's future and present, and it was going, we're going to be a carbon economy, and it's just going on about carbon, lower emissions. And what they're talking about is, if you compare it, to me, what they were saying is, during the Opium War, which England got involved with, the Tea and Opium War, HSBC managed to plot to basically take over the currency. And then what they're going to do is they're going to repeat that again. I can't imagine the Chinese were that pleased about it. And they're going to do that again. They're going to collapse the dollar. They're going to collapse the euro. They're going to collapse the pound. And it's going to be replaced by a carbon economy. Everything you do,
I could
you'll
see
need a
that.
carbon credit for. So everything will be run by the Internet of Things,
Well,
where
and
we come out of this 3D. Well, at the moment, we're in a 3D industry where you work, you go out and work. But now it's all going to be 2D and the Internet of Things, where you won't have to leave your house. It'll all be online, and you have to have a universal credit. And anything you want to spend will be
well,
based on carbon. You're a
and
carbon emission.
and the other thing is,
They're going to wipe out.
think about what I was saying about all those people going to their defense being, well, what will everyone else think? And it's like those people are perfect for a social credit system. Like they are already in that
And China's
mindset.
going to be leading it. And everyone on the office is like, oh, this is so wonderful, this is so, oh. It's only when I explained what they were really saying, everyone went, oh?
Yeah.
I was like, you're carbon, I'm carbon, I love carbon, I want more carbon. Trees love the carbon.
Yeah.
I breathe in the oxygen, breathe out the carbon dioxide, the trees take that in, the animals like eating the trees. It's like, it's all wonderful. Carbon, carbon, carbon. Give me some more carbon. It's not a pollutant, it's a trace element. And some of the people at HSBC, at least it was HSBC, like everyone's pretty minded and went, oh shit.
Yeah.
It sounds all nice, it sounds all beautiful. It's not that I want to destroy the planet and see it end in a nuclear holocaust, but I think carbon is the bogeyman, and they're talking about wiping out sovereign nations with this.
Well, and over here
And
now,
everything you do is going to be actioned by an AI, artificial intelligence computer. So if you went to McDonald's, you get your drive-through and you drop it on the floor, they're going to be able to track that back to you for your number plate or your receipt, how you paid for it, and you're going to get fined for it.
when we
Because
just had it
everything's
over here
tracked and
now
traced on
where
the internet.
plastic bags got banned. So you can't
Yeah,
have
they'll give you
any.
the food. You won't own anything. Like the light bulbs won't be yours, and when they run out, someone will have to come in and fix it. You won't own anything. It
Actually,
will
you
be
know,
like rented to you.
that reminds me though, there was a Trump speech I was watching, and it really, I mean, this speech just shows why he won the presidency. He's up there and he's talking about light bulbs, and he's like, we're bringing back the original light bulbs, not these green ones that are, more expensive and aren't as bright. He said I got a new shower and I'm in there and it's like drip, drip, drip. He said there's no water coming out of it. He said, and you have dishwashers now where you have to run it 2 or 3 times because it's not using enough water to wash the thing, so you have to take it out. I mean, he was basically ripping into all of the green new products because they don't use, I mean, even I have a new toilet and the water pressure is shit because you're not allowed to have as much water as the old ones. And it's funny, I told this to my boss and she was like, I have a newer washer machine. I was washing stuff in it last night and I take it out and it's still soapy because it's not using enough water. Like they have built it into all of the new appliances, this energy saver, sustainable stuff. And Trump at least was out there saying it's all crap. And, I was thinking, I was like, people don't care about Syria and the Middle East and all that stuff nearly as much as they care about all of their appliances and whether or not they work or not. Like, those are the things people are interacting with on a daily basis. And he even made a joke. He was like, I wish I could talk about this stuff at the State of the Union, but they say it's not eloquent enough.
You know what I want to talk about, and it's like the obvious one, is what do you think of the Cronenberg virus?
Um,
Cronenberg is like a beer we drink in England.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, did it come from bats? Did it come from that lab? It's a black market thing there. It could be a mix of everything. I don't know. The thing is there are so many of these freak illnesses that pop up out of China, whether it be SARS or, swine flu and they never really amount to much in America. So I don't know. I try not to get myself worked up over it. And speaking of things to not get yourselves worked up over, we survived World War III apparently.
And Brexit. I mean,
Yeah,
Godzilla was meant to attack.
yeah. All that hype about Iran and nuclear annihilation
Yeah,
and
but
all that
2020's been pretty much of a ride. I mean, nearly World War Three, then the Brexit, and then we've got this virus
impeachment.
that could just wipe us out. Because the virus is fucking fascinating, dude. I want to quickly rant about that virus because First of all, it does look like it came out of a lab. From what I can see, it was developed by the Bill Clinton Foundation, one of their institutes that they fund.
You
And
mean
it is
Bill
a
Gates?
biological stage 4 weapon, yeah. And they had it in Texas and Canada, and the Chinese got caught taking it out of Canada and Texas, bringing it into China. So that actually happened. And it looks like the patient zero came from nearer that bioweapon plant in China than he did the marketplace.
Yeah.
Same with the other ones. You can't really obviously trust Chinese
I
media.
was
You
just
can't trust
about to say that.
pharmaceutical companies. You can't trust anything they say. But the people that are dropping dead, I mean, they're dropping dead and just smashing their head on the concrete. That looks like some kind of 5G weapon or something. I think this is some kind of drill for the real thing. And then they had that Netflix documentary where they released a biovirus, and then Bill Gates is the savior. He comes through with his vaccine. I think it's really fucking weird that the symbol from the bioweapons facility is exactly the same as Resident Evil.
Yeah.
It actually is exactly the same.
Well, and that
And then
they're
you've got
like,
like coronavirus. The way it's written is like Raccoon City, isn't it? You get raccoons.
yeah, you're right. It's kind of
Yeah.
like an anagram. But I see. I thought it was odd, looking into the vaccine that it's like they're like 3 months away from it being ready, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, they
just
found
enough time to
HN.
let it, just
Yeah,
just enough time to let it fucking run its course, and then they can come in and be like, here you go.
they say found 3 strains of HIV in there or something. So it's just ripping the immune system apart. And then that's why they're saying HIV drugs can help treat it.
Yeah. I don't even know what I think about HIV after watching that House of Numbers movie. I mean, that's no one even knows, or I don't know if it's HIV or
Yeah,
AIDS, but one of them they can't decide if it's a
it's
virus or a
HIV.
classification of virus, or like there's no clear cut things. All you know is your immune system's getting fucked up.
Well, some people in the LGBTQ want HIV and AIDS covered under your, standard insurance you get with the bank, like your mortgage insurance or your car loan insurance. And it's like that's going to be really bad for the industry because the only people that get AIDS and HIV it is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
It's not because it's treatable now. It should be on there. You'd be asking for your typical white male to pay for something that he would never get affected by.
Well, now the crazy.
HIV and AIDS seems to be a bad lifestyle choice.
Well, no, and now the.
Or am I being harsh? Because
Well,
how do you get HIV and AIDS if it's not self-inflicted?
see, here's the thing though, is actually I think next to the LGBT and all that nonsense, the largest demographic that is afflicted by it is straight black women. And it's because they end up sleeping with men that are on the down low or whatever. So it's like, but I remember seeing that straight black women are like largely affected by it, but it's because they're fucking scumbags and they don't realize. But
Are people going to be happy covering that insurance? Your typical guy.
well, the thing is
It's
now,
going to be expensive, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think it's relatively cheap. I did an interview with a guy who has it actually. I think I have the video file somewhere. Because one of the things I was asking him about is, now they have these preventative drugs that they have people on, and it's like, so you can take that every day. I mean, even the commercials for it are so sleazy. They're like, so you and your partner or partners can be safe, and it's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
but it's like, so then you're just taking this medication for like forever, I guess. I mean, I don't understand the need for it if you're just in a stable relationship, but if you're being a slut, then yeah, go for it. But it doesn't protect you from any other diseases. And my concern is that, whatever AIDS, HIV, whatever it is, would mutate around that blocker or around that preventative
You're still going to
medication
get all this fucking
and sort of
disease.
supercharge. But I don't know.
Yeah, so I got in a bit of trouble because we was going on about how about LBGTQ, and I was like, well, I'm going to self-identify as my boss. I'm just
That's
going to be
funny.
you. Yeah, I'm just going to be you. I'm the boss now. because that's what I self-identify as. In fact, I self-identify as the CEO, bro.
Yeah, I had
And
a coworker of mine. We were talking about it, and she was like, "Well, I want to be what was the term I had come for? Like trans socioeconomic. Basically, I identify as a millionaire, and everyone should fund my reassignment."
then I was like, I'm going to be trans dead.
Nah.
Or a trans vampire just running around biting everyone.
Yeah, all that shit is it's ridiculous.
And then they told me to leave it
I'll
alone.
tell you, I saw a thing the other day where it was like the top female athlete of the year or something, and it's some dude who became a woman who's an MMA fighter, and I'm like, caving in bitches' skulls. That's progress. Here we go. Like, how a man
That's
beating a
going to be its
woman
downfall.
is.
I was talking about that. That was my example. You've got dudes just crushing women's skulls in the UFC. If you look at the heavyweight world records for women, they're all dudes.
Yeah.
You're getting hockey players that are like 7 foot dudes, just knocking over little schoolgirls.
Yeah, I was talking to a woman earlier this week about it, where I was like, it's crazy this whole idea where they say like a trans woman is a real woman. I'm like, and what it basically implies is crazy sexist that a real woman is a man. Like, there's like an underlying layer of misogyny.
So, turns out Harvey Weinstein hasn't got any balls. Did you just read that?
No,
Yeah, the accused has come out and gone, he looks like he's got burns all down him, and he's got like a mangina. He's got no balls, and it looks like a vagina.
that's weird.
Great news. You got to check that out. You got to bring that up, Jamie.
But I feel like I heard something
That
crazy.
explains a lot.
I feel like
Think about that.
I
That
feel like I
explains so
heard
much.
something
It's
crazy
power
like
for
that
money. He
about
hasn't got
the Clintons though too. Like that one of the Clintons' genitals were mutilated or something. I mean, it's probably some sort of crazy ritual thing.
what else? Oh yeah, we had a terror attack in London today
Really?
with a fake suicide fest. Yeah, it's in a shithole. It's in Streatham shithole,
I saw there
and
was
it's off Streatham.
there was also a shooting at Mar-a-Lago that was stopped.
Yeah, yeah. But and remember, that's Trump security. He doesn't use Secret Service.
Yeah.
So what
But
else?
so
But Bernie's crushing. You probably don't want to hear that.
well, I actually heard someone theorize that this whole impeachment thing, the reason they held on to it for the month and then put it through is that it locks down Bernie in the Senate so that he can't be campaigning while the impeachment is going on. Like that's the Democrats pulling their dirty tricks on him again.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna put it. I don't even know. Yeah, it's gonna be a tricky one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know
It
who
looks like the impeachment is over then, I guess, is it?
yeah.
So that was it. They just couldn't get any after all that.
Well, there was
That was it.
nothing to it. So,
Yeah,
it's
I'm really worried about China rounding people up because what are the symptoms of coronavirus? Seems pretty random, pretty vague.
yeah, I
You could
heard it's
just
just
round
like a
people up
flu.
based on the most vague of things.
Yeah, from what I heard, it's just like a flu when you get
What
it.
do you reckon it is? Do you reckon it's a drill? Do you think it's the real thing? Do you think it's from a bat?
Uh, I don't know. I think it's probably the real thing. I could see them letting something out. I mean, they've got enough people to sort of get rid of a few. And if they're looking at them sort of like suicide bombers, infecting some people and hoping they spread it and I mean, I don't think they want to destabilize their own country that much, but who knows? This is a country that does one-child
Yeah, what
policies.
happens with the economy if they don't start running business again?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you reckon Trump let it loose?
I don't know. I doubt that. But I just, the thing is I just don't like how all of the news sources, like, you feel like you can't trust any of them. Because, I mean, over here, Trump being Trump, he's just like, oh, yeah, we're monitoring it. It'll be all right. We're, taking precautions and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but you're giving a default salesman answer. Like, what's really going on?
Yeah, I mean, like normal. I mean, I'm not really following the news that much anymore. I do think it's all just scripted and kind of boring now.
Yeah. Well, and
I
the
know
thing
that
is,
sounds
is,
sad.
is they have everything cranked up to 11. So it's like, you can't have the hysteria over Iran, into the hysteria over impeachment, into the hysteria over Brexit, into the hysteria over the corona. You know what I mean? Like everything is treated with the
Constant
same level
fearful.
of, yeah, everything has the same level of
Trump's gonna
severity.
save us. Don't worry, Trump will save us. Yeah, it's just boring. Yeah, man. Yeah, I haven't been following it too much. Been following a lot of more, listening to a lot of Jay Dyer more, stuff like that. More
Yeah,
esoteric kind of stuff.
I've been I've been doing a lot of researching into, because I work in a mental health field, into psychiatry and stuff like that. And it makes it really difficult to work in the field, because how, kind of like what you're saying about the bank stuff, like all the training, I feel like they're just trying to indoctrinate me. Like, I even had my supervisor bring us an article where she's like, hate isn't a mental illness, and when there's a mass shooter, it's not because of mental illness and this and that. And I'm like, all of the shooters are on SSRI drugs though, so they're obviously seeing a
They
psychiatrist
must
to
have
get,
missed.
like,
Doctors got it wrong then, I guess.
well, what
And
the
then
thing is
okay.
it's like, and I was telling her, is I was like, you can't chalk it up solely to mental illness. All your mass shooters also have no fathers. Like, that's another factor. But to try to say mental illness isn't a factor is just as bad as the people who want to say it's the only factor. Like, it's not an all or nothing thing. So then it's funny because she brings us this other article where she's like, and hate isn't from mental illness. Hate is learned, like racism, sexism, homophobia, xenophobia. And I was like, wait. Phobias are mental illnesses, though. So how can you say someone's homophobic and have that not be a mental illness? I'm like, so the terminology medicalizes it. She's like, yeah, well, those words shouldn't be used. I'm like, bitch, you're the one that just said them. Like, come on, you can't even keep straight your own points. But the whole psychiatry field, like, everyone knows the thing of the Pavlov with the dog, and they bring out the food, hit the bell, the dog salivates, and all that. Most people don't realize after that they ended up doing that to kids, where they were like drilling holes in kids' cheeks to measure saliva when they would like bring out food and stuff.
Do you want to hear my latest transcriptions?
Sure.
Doing it in the background. Got Oh, we could do one you could sing along to. Do Sympathy for the Atheist. Remember that Sympathy for the Devil? I thought you'd sing along. But I've got this one going. Do you remember that Roxette? Must Have Been Love. Been trying to get that one. So Yeah, man. Just doing transcriptions all the time. Did you recognise any of them?
No, I'm sorry, I was messing around with things
Ah,
so that the chat pops up
I don't think anyone watches.
in the video. No, there's some people watching. I'm just trying to.
We have any song requests? We should write a song for Sympathy for the Atheist. Please allow me to do it for Jesus instead of Lucifer.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. Guitars are cool. I think Jamie Gold
Okay.
bought
No,
them.
no, I'm just actually I'm making it so when people talk in the chat, it shows up in the stream.
Yeah, I started that Roxette song just last Sunday, so it's still new.
What's going on, Dave? Oh, we got 5 people watching. Nice.
Any song requests, guys? Any song.
I...
We'll figure it out. We should have our own New World News Network band. Play your song, well, I'll play along to that one next week. It's just 2 chords, isn't it, you're doing?
This is just different colored.
Can you name this Michael Jackson song? Can't remember it.
You have a request for Paranoid Android. Do you know that?
No, but I do know. What shall we do? What about, I like Don't like that. Or you could do the Owen Benjamin classic there. It's like that Kylie Minogue song, isn't it? I just can't get you out of my head. Your love is all I think about. I just can't get you out of my head. Boy, your love is all I think about. I think I'm crazy. I reckon you could combine those two. Fucking hell. I reckon half the audience must have gone by now.
Huh?
I reckon half the audience must be gone by now.
I'm gonna have to play around with that some other time.
You what? Right. Yeah, it gets a bit addictive to guitar. Sorry guys. Gets way too addictive. I think that's it. I think that's enough entertainment. I don't really have much, man. I think we're all gonna die of corona pretty much.
Yeah. Or I'm
We're gonna
just
have to
gonna
take the
I'm just gonna
vaccine.
die from insomnia. Ugh.
Probably better than coronavirus. I'd rather die of insomnia. Pretty quick-ish.
That's true.
Why don't you just hit the weed, man?
I don't know. I probably see the thing is I feel like it's gonna be a waste. All I'm gonna do is sleep.
That's the whole point of weed, isn't it?
I guess. But I don't know, I'll probably just eat something and then go to bed. Oh, I'm shot. But yeah, it's funny. I feel like as like we were saying, as all the news stories are like turned up to 11 at all times, it's like we're just gradually more and more disinterested in all of it.
More interested in the what?
I said as all the news stories are like turned up to 11 at all times, it's like you just end up more and more disinterested in it.
Well, it is what? 0202 2020, 020202 all backwards. The synchronicity of that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
All that duality, reverse duality. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. So I wonder if something's gonna blow up today.
Already has in London.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Super Bowl's today. You know they're gonna have some sort of crazy ritual for the halftime show.
I reckon if you sang, we'd have a great show, Jamie. Can you bout out any numbers?
No,
Any Celine Dion?
no, I don't sing.
Can you do any of that Freddie Mercury?
Definitely not. I don't even like Queen.
He turned out to be a pedo, I think.
I always
Oh,
found it
gosh.
to be obnoxious. It's a little too theatrical for me.
That's all I know. Do you recognise that from the Purple Rain album?
Yeah. Oops.
baby. We hit that magic hour yet? Just an hour long solo. That should be it. You come on, do that. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about podcasts. I don't know. I don't really want to get into all the drama and spiral in all the nonsense because I think we've learned after doing this, most of what we reported just turned out to be nonsense.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. Like how I was saying about the whole World War III thing, where it's like it just ended up being a bunch of, one guy gets blown up. I mean, it's not like the Middle East is in great shape. I mean, they're still having all their upheavals, but it's nothing really that the West needs to be concerned with. I mean, that's part of why I've decided to start writing a book, because I think that would be a good little project, and then it will give me something to make videos about.
Yeah, the left dictionary, so up means down, down means up.
Basically, yeah.
Abortion means female liberation so they can pursue their career. And what else have you got? Nationalist means racist. Healthcare equal means free. What else?
Or it
Student
means
debt.
killing babies.
Yeah. What else have you got for your leftist dictionary?
I can pull it up, actually.
Let's start with A. I've done abortion. What other A's will there be?
Let's see.
Accountability
We
means
have
blaming the Trump.
acceptance, access, affirmative action, affordable housing, ally, alt-right, anti-choice, assault weapon and assault rifle, and awareness. Then we have bigot, binary, bodies, because I get so aggravated when they're like, and black bodies. And it's like, you mean people? Like, talk about dehumanizing. Oh, you know what else I saw the other day that I'm going to do a review on? There's some movie documentary thing on Amazon Prime right now that's like all about racism and the church in the founding of America and stuff. And the thing I've noticed they do is this sleight of hand where they act as if that, all right, you have to have a couple like presuppositions first, and that's America is multicultural. And if that's your default, well then there is no
It was
America
built by immigrants.
that yeah, so that's their starting point is America is multicultural because it's built by immigrants.
Yeah, and
Therefore,
ISIS, we were told today in the British papers that ISIS and these rape gangs are groomed by the British. Like they were fine until they came to England and learned our wicked ways.
well, the thing is in this, what they basically
Oh,
do is they say that so there is no American culture, so where there would be American culture, they just call it white supremacy. So and that's their little sleight of hand, where so instead of there being a Christian, Protestant culture, it's just that's white supremacy. White supremacy is everywhere. I mean, this documentary was ridiculous because there's so many assertions that just there's no rhyme or reason to it. So I was probably gonna go through and watch it on the computer and just pull some clips and do a video on that.
yeah, man. I'm gonna get out of here. Hit that magic hour, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm gonna make myself a BLT and nap. Hopefully not forever, but definitely for a while.
Smoke some of that weed, man.
Yeah, I do. I have a
Get
little
us a
left.
weed sponsor.
Ugh. Actually, I've been eating these CBD gummy ring things I got.
Oh.
They're pretty good. So, all right.
No, you want the THC though, man.
Yeah,
What are the weed prices where you are?
I don't know. I just tell my friend a dollar amount and he just gives me a bunch.
Mm.
I always try not to pay too much attention to it.
Alright, man.
All right. I'll catch you next
Watch
week.
out for the virus.
Yeah, you too.
Right. Yeah.